my name's Artemis, and this week we're going to be shouting and ranting about something. Pretty much what we do every week, but this time it's about work, because, yeah, we actually rant about that quite a lot. But it's about something to do with work, because there's a certain phrase that seems to be smashed around all the goddamn time, and it's complete and utter bullshit, and I have a lot to say about this complete and utter bullshit, so we're going to get the fuck into it. So what is this phrase, I don't hear you ask, because this is not a two-way communication thing? Well, voices in my head, the phrase is, nobody wants to work anymore. Let's just take a second to let that soak into your blood, to the boiling rage. Because it's complete and utter bullshit, and there are loads of different ways to take it, and loads of different ways that it's used, and the most common one tends to be that people are inherently lazy and they don't want to go out and work, and honestly, I think that's a good place for us to start. So, don't want to work, don't want to go and do the job. Okay, let's dissect that a little bit, because the whole world isn't run by people who are very passionate about what they do. In fact, there's not exactly a majority of people that can happily say that they wake up every single morning in love with what they do for a living. No, that doesn't really happen. Unless you are in a career which is specifically focused towards your passions, you're going basically to pay the bills, aren't you? That's essentially what you're doing. You're not going to a career, you're going to a job. So, okay, are we supposed to be excited about going to work in these places that honestly are just necessities? Do you think the people who scrub the shit off the floor and the toilets are excited about that? Do you think that the retail staff who you shout and scream at if you have to wait more than 30 seconds in a fucking queue are really passionate and excited to go to work? Do you think maybe the general atmosphere of being in that environment is enough for people to go, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to do this job anymore, so I won't? If you treat retail workers like shit, they're probably going to think, maybe I should go elsewhere. Also, shout out to all the clueless fuckers who think that 30 seconds wait in a queue is ridiculous, but 22 hours wait in a queue to see a dead body is apparently totally fucking patriotic and justifiable. But on that note, a moment of silence for the Queen. Anyway, moving on. So obviously passion isn't going to be something that comes into every single job that everybody works. No, it comes to money, and the problem is money is a bit scarce, and it doesn't really mean as much as it used to, you know? Money doesn't go as far, and the jobs don't pay in line with what you need to pay out. You see, there's not an awful lot of incentive to going out and getting a job even if you do that, you can't afford to live. If you're stuck at home and you're like, oh fuck, I can't afford to feed the kids, I can't put the heating on, why have we got all these lights on, can't afford to do any of this, oh, I know, I'll go and get a job and I'll work 40 hours a week as a nurse. You're not going to expect then to still have to use food banks, are you? So, are we really facing a crisis of nobody wants to work? Or is it more a crisis of nobody wants to pay for employees that actually give a shit? Nobody wants to pay for the people. Nobody wants to actually run their business in a way that their employees can fucking survive. Like, I feel like that's a bit more of a crisis, really, because at the end of the day, these jobs can wear you down. They can be massive weights on your shoulders that make you question your desire to stay in this fucking world sometimes. So you're not going to put yourself through that for no fucking reward, are you? That's just not going to happen. And of course, you're not going to do that for abuse as well. It's not a matter of nobody wants to work anymore. Maybe it's a matter of nobody wants to be exploited anymore. Did you think about that? Huh? Did you think about that? No, of course you fucking didn't. Now, this phrase is also used in various contexts that change a little bit of its meaning. For instance, a lot of the time I hear it bandied about is that nobody wants to work anymore because they're all happy sucking off the government teat and they're all on benefits, having kids and blah, blah, fucking blah. Now, here's what's interesting about that, is that a large amount of people in this country who are employed are still on benefits because you can't afford to live off of a typical normal job. That is the truth. That's not that they're too lazy to work or they can't be bothered or they just don't want to. No, they have gone out, gotten a job, maybe something they don't like, to try and provide for their family, and hey, guess what? The world fucking sucks and they can't afford to. So they still have to take a little bit of a helping hand. Fair play to everybody who does that. I'm not judging you. So maybe that's something that comes into it. You can say, oh, all the people on benefits are scum. Bitch! You would take free money if it was offered. Nobody can fucking stand up and go, oh no, oh no, no, no. If I came along with a £50 note and went, here you go, it's a handout, do you want it? You'd bite my fucking hand off to take that money. What I also find interesting is how the British public tend to be totally fine with you sitting around and doing fuck all at the expense of the government if you meet certain criteria. Now, for instance, if certain socio-economic factors come into that, like potentially skin colour because we're racist, but also as well citizenship status, for instance, if your country has been torn apart by war, I wouldn't suggest coming here because you're going to have the Daily Mail on your ass calling you scum. But that's unacceptable. They shouldn't be out. If it's young kids and young families who aren't getting a job, that's unacceptable. But if it's an old family chosen by God, well, the state can fork out for that. It's tradition, it's heritage, it's patriotic. And of course, if you've put into the system, if you have proven your worth, then you can retire. And that doesn't cost all that much money, does it? There's totally not going to be some figures here that show up the average cost of paying for unemployment benefits compared to paying for the state pension. No, when it comes to how much money this government is lacking, it's certainly not because people are refusing to die. Probably walking down a dangerous path on that one, but fuck it, I shall skip instead. Yeah. If you want to talk about brass tacks and accountability like an accountant, then, which one of those figures is the biggest? Oh, is it that one? Shall we get rid of that one then? No? Let's make it bigger! It's that David Tennant thing, I just thought of it. No, you'll get rid of the small one, which won't actually make a dent if you were to get rid of it. We spunk more up the wall than these combined on stupid track and trace things, so you can't use the excuse of money now, can you? And finally, one of the last points that I also see this rallied against is that apparently we are all woke lefty snowflake Marxists. I don't think I can defend myself on that one, apart from the Marxist bit, but still. Maybe people should afford to live. If that's anti-capitalist, then I guess no, it is. But anyway, yeah. So the point that I would like to make in this one is that apparently we're all too sensitive and we all lack that vital work ethic. And this one burns a little bit because of the certain people I've heard using it and in what context. Because I legit have heard the sentence, well, I had my first job at 11. And I got paid £3 for a week's work, which I said, that's not good. And their response was, well, I know I was exploited, but at least I was working. What the fuck do you say to that? Holy shit. So is that where this is then? The state of the world is basically just down to punitive measures? Like, I had to suffer, therefore you have to suffer. I lost a kidney, so you better start forking up your fucking kidneys, alright? We're in this together. No, that's not how it works, sunshine. Now, is it? Like, you were, like, entering retirement nearly. If the world is still operating how it was in the fucking 60s, we are not going in the right direction as a society and as a species, are we? No. And just because you had it rough, just because you had to suffer, you should want more than that for your kids. You should want better than that. But again, I guess I'm just being a woke, lefty Marxist, Corbynist, snowflake bastard. Whew. To be fair, that's better than being a right-wing angry piece of gammon who gets obsessive over strangers' genitals, but whatever. Okay, I know I said the last point was the last point, but I tried to do the outro and accidentally remembered another one, so buckle up kiddies, the ride ain't over yet. But, going right back, who the fuck does want to work? Who actually would win the lottery, get enough money to last forever, if they're smart, and then wake up in the morning and go, oh, it's so nice being a millionaire. Anyway, off I go down the co-op to start my 12-hour shift. Yay! That doesn't happen. At the end of the day, the whole point of work and the whole point of working is so that you can do less of it. You work hard now so you don't have to work so hard later on. That's the whole purpose, right? We're all just aiming at retirement and hoping we fucking get there. We hit the target. So yeah, who does want to work? Wouldn't we all just rather be out in the fields with friends, traveling the world and doing good shit? I get that this is a realistic world and you have responsibilities if you want to participate in society, but come on, that's not a good fucking excuse. You can't just say, oh, well, no one wants to work anymore. We've all got to work. Right. But do we all have to be happy about it, Karen? Huh? Do we all have to be happy about it? Because you seem to be trying your hardest to make sure that we sure as shit ain't. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was very easy to make because I could obviously go off about this a lot more than I already have. I've tried to make this a nice short video. I look forward to me being completely wrong about that. But thank you for sticking through. If you did enjoy it, bang! Look at that merch. Look at that, doing my own sound effects now. And we'll get through this quick, because bang! Look, there's another graphic. This one's for Patreon. So if you'd like to support, but obviously money's tight and tough, so I get it, yo. I get it. Also, it's cheap. I forgot to say it's cheap because they fucked the pound. So yeah, it's cheaper now if you're in America land. Freedom land. Give me some of that sweet freedom. Anyway, let's stop begging for money now. Thanks for watching, and like, share, subscribe. Give me your soul. I don't care, whatever. Bye.